Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's me again, your girl Angie Owoko. And if you're new here, you're most welcome. Do not forget to leave a like, do not forget to leave a comment, share and subscribe to this channel. So straight to the topic of this video today, I would like to share with you like one of the what I find to be the best ways to immigrate to Germany, and that is through the language study visa. This is actually based on a recent experience from a person that I helped to apply for the language study visa, and they got their visa. Actually, it was on the 6th of September, and they were able to travel to Germany by by the end of that week. So personally, I also came to Germany through the language study visa, but mine was different. I actually applied for a 3-month Schengen visa, but it was a study visa. Something that I wouldn't advise if your plan is to stay longer in Germany, longer than 3 months. If your plan is to stay for the 3 months or for the whatever duration of time and go back to your country, especially Kenya, then of course go ahead and apply for it. But if you plan to maybe stay longer in Germany, if you maybe envision transferring your your visa to studies or to an Ausbildung or to even work or to any other long stay visa that is called a national visa, then please do not apply for the 3-month Schengen visa. You guys are aware by now, and I hope you are, that the path that people somehow used to use to like prolong their stay in Germany, maybe finding a way to come with a short-term visa, maybe a Schengen visa for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 day, whatever, and then seeking asylum. Do not try that if you are actually do not have a convincing case that you actually need protection status in Germany. If you're not aware, our president struck a deal with Germany and agreed that people whose asylum application has been rejected in Germany should actually be returned back to Kenya. You know, before it was that if you are a Kenyan, yes, and you do not have a passport, then you will not be allowed to travel back to Kenya. Even the plane, they would say they do not recognize you without a passport. They do not know who you are. So nobody would have allowed you to travel back to Kenya without a passport. And somehow that worked. But right now it has been the country, Germany has been given a mandate that for people whose asylum cases have been rejected, then with or without a passport, you can be returned back to the country that you entered Germany from. If you came from maybe France or from Spain, or if you came directly from Kenya, then you should be returned. My way of saying, please do not be deceived, especially by agents that ask for a large sum of money to assist you to come to Germany, only for you to get frustrated and then be returned or be deported back to your country. Anyway, now let's focus on the language study visa. This is a visa that actually allows you to come to Germany for the purpose of studying the language. And I would advise that when you are booking your interview, because this is one of the things that you need to do, then you need to book under the category of isolated language study visas, because there are people who actually come to Germany to study the language in preparation for university entrance. If that is the case, then okay. But if you just want to study German in Germany with no intention to transfer directly to a university or to any other institution, or maybe to an Ausbildung, then you need to apply for an isolated language study visa. So that's it. Yes, it's a visa that you apply in order to come and study the language. And so what I can say, right now things have really changed, especially when it comes to applying for visas from the German embassy in Nairobi. Trust me, I know from experience. Before, it used to be that you could check and see maybe appointments that are available, maybe even some 2 weeks into the future, and you could actually block one of those and then wait for your interview and, you know, go attend your interview, present your case, and then you get the visa or not. But right now you have to get into a waiting list. And I'm telling you, I know of a case where somebody has been on a waiting list for literally from May and they got an appointment for October. For the case of the other person that I had to apply, they were on the waiting list from March and was given an appointment for the end of June. So literally 3 months wait, and that was not even long. People are now waiting for 5 months plus for appointments. So usually they advise that as soon as you know about your plans to travel to Germany, then you need to book your appointment immediately, and then you will have enough time. I mean, you will have literally months for you to put together all the documents that are required and all that. So yeah, that's a pointer. Again, just note that down, that as soon as you know that you are planning to move to Germany, or you want to go to Germany for maybe the language study visa, then you need to visit the embassy website, book an appointment, which you will not get an appointment directly. You just get a confirmation that you've now been added to the waiting list, and that you will get a confirmation of your appointment 6 weeks actually before the date of the appointment. So yes, and the reason why I feel like this is one of the best ways to immigrate to Germany is according to the experience. Actually, again, I'm giving you the experience of the person that I had to apply for the visa, is that the documents, yes, of course, the documents that are requested for are straightforward. Of course, you need to have your passport, and your passport needs to have should not be close to expiry by the time you need to return to the country. Like, it should have enough time, like 3 months before you need to return to the country, your passport should still be valid. So the other thing that you are going to need, of course, is your letter of admission to the language school. So many people come and ask me, like, okay, if you want to apply for the language study visa, do you need to find a school? Of course, come on. You need to, the first thing that I would advise, if you are really sure that you want to apply for the study visa, then of course book the appointment, get on the waiting list. If you are Kenyan, I don't know about the embassies from other countries, maybe in East Africa or other parts of Africa, I don't know, but if you're a Kenyan, get on the waiting list. The wait is really long. These other documents can be acquired faster than you can get an appointment for your interview. And then of course apply for a school. And people usually ask, oh, how do you apply? Come on, you know how to use the internet. Go to Google and Google German language schools around the city that you want to, if you have a specific city that you want to study in, maybe because you have a relative or a friend there or whatever, just do your research. But there are so many language schools literally in every city. You can apply for a language school, and make sure that the language school is actually offering an intensive language course. And by intensive, I mean the courses should be running for at least 5 days a week, and literally like 20 hours. You need to have 20 hours per week. So 5 days a week and 4 hours per day. So like this person that came recently and is doing their language study, they start their classes at 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12, so 8 to 12. So those are 4 hours, and it's Monday to Friday, so 20 hours a week. If you're going to have something less than more than that, if your course is taking, like, maybe one level is taking 3 months, then that 3 months or 4 months, that's not an intensive course. So when you're applying for the school, make sure you're looking for intensive language courses. Otherwise, the embassy will straight away reject you, because those are that is one of the requirements, that the course need to be intensive. And then of course get your letter of admission, and you're not gonna get the letter of admission or confirmation of admission until you have cleared the fees. So if your intention is to apply for maybe A1, A2, B1 and B2, then you're going to have to pay fees for the entire duration of the study. In our case, that is what we did. We paid for the entire duration of study. We applied for A1, A2, B1 and B2 and paid the entire fees. And the school that we actually found, the fee per month was actually 440 euros not per month, but fee per level. So A1 440 euros, A2 440 euros until B1, and then there was of course a registration fee of 80 euros. So the total that we ended up paying was 1,840 euros, if I'm not wrong. And this you pay straight upfront before, of course, the school can give you a registration, because the school is not going to give you a confirmation of registration or confirmation of enrollment if you're not paid the fees, because they know that you just want to use them to get to Germany and not attend the school at all, and actually prevent the serious people who actually want to study the language from getting a place. So yes, I hope this is clear. You need to pay all your fees after you find the school before you can get your confirmation of enrollment. So number one was your passport, and of course you need to have a copy of the biodata page. Number two, you need to fill in the application form, of course, for applying for the visa, and you need to fill the form for the national visa if you are applying for more than 3 months. Number three, you need your biometric photos. Make sure you get the correct specifications. They need to be on a white background. Number four, of course, the proof of admission, and that is the letter from the school that you have actually been you've gotten a place at the school, and of course you need to show proof that you have paid your fees, and this you can use the bank slips that you used, you paid the fees with, and or any other mode of payment. In our case, we did what is this called, bank transfer, and we just use screenshots of the confirmation of payment and then printed that out. And then number five is proof of financing your stay, which is a very, very, very important, and I would say that this is now the most difficult part for most people, because all these other things, I mean, you can fill in a registration form. Most people have passports. Getting a school is not that of a big deal. Paying your school fees, when you're talking about this 1840 euros, for example, different schools, mark you, different schools or different cities have different fees, so do not base that on generalize that every school that is how much is going to cost you. I'm just giving you a rough estimation based on the experience that I had recently when we were applying for the language study visa for long term. And so proof of financing your study, one, you can have a blocked account for the first year of your stay in Germany, and this applies even if you are applying for six months, even if you're applying for only 2 levels, whatever, you know. If you're going to apply for the national language study visa that can go up to 1 year, then you must have the amount that covers the entire year. Why? Because this visa, usually, even if you're granted a 6 months visa, it can be extended up to 1 year. So what they want to know, that you can cover your stay for the whole duration of 1 year. So even if you're going to use a trick and say, you know what, I'm only going to study 2 levels, no, they won't buy that, because they know that once you are in the country, you can extend your stay, or you can extend your studies for up to 1 year. So the thing is, proof of financing your stay for the blocked account. Then you need, for the first year of your stay in Germany, a certificate of a bank in Germany about a deposit of 11,904 euros, and that is equivalent to 992 euros per month. And this is supposed to be like your your monthly sustenance, and that means that you should be able to pay your rent with it, buy food, transportation, entertainment, and all that. Other than that, if you have maybe a sponsor that is living in Germany that can show credit worthiness, then they can send you a formal obligation letter, which is called Verpflichtungserklärung, that they are going to finance your entire stay. They're going to basically be responsible for you for everything, and usually they need to apply for this document from the foreigners office, like an invitation for a longer duration of stay. And usually this is somebody that has maybe a net salary of at least 2,500 euros, if I'm not wrong. And also that is depending on how many people that person has invited or is planning to invite for that year. So the more people you invite, then the more money you need to show that you are earning, so that you prove that you're actually able to sustain these people in Germany, so that they do not end up being a burden to the state. So that is also another way, and actually this is the way that we actually went for, which was a little bit easier, because we were able to find somebody with the credit worthiness that was able to now take this letter of obligation for this person, and then we sent it to Kenya, and they were able to present it to the embassy. And with this, they did not need to show any other proof of funds, although the person had saved up some money in their bank account, you know, to show that they are also able to do ABCD. The bank account during the interview, the bank account statement was not asked for. Basically, this document is weighs so heavily, because why? Also, when you're signing that document for somebody, you are actually saying that in case if anything happens to that person and they need to leave the country, then you are going to even finance their returning back to the country, and you will make sure that they will leave the country upon the expiration of their visa. So it is a very delicate document. It's not a document that you can come to just anyone. You see, I couldn't even take for this person. We had to find help from somebody else. So just in case you're watching and you're planning to come for me on the side, no, I cannot take it for you, sorry. I do not qualify. Okay, so yeah, that you can show that. That's another way. Or the other way is actually through a scholarship, if maybe, but you see, with language study, I've not heard of somebody getting a scholarship that is actually applicable for somebody who maybe is coming to the university and all that stuff. But for language study, I would say either the letter of obligation or a blocked account. Those are your only two options. So it's either we are talking about 1.5 million Kenya shillings in a blocked account in Germany, and mark you are only going to be able to withdraw once you're in Germany. You'll be able to withdraw only the up to the maximum of what you need for a month. So you'll be able to withdraw up to 992 euros. So it's not like you're going to borrow this money and then once you get to Germany, withdraw the money and send it back to somebody. It doesn't work like that. This is actually money that is available for you to make sure that it can sustain you, so that you're not struggling in Germany and becoming a burden to the state. And before I move forward, usually when applying for this language study visa before, even when I was applying, it clearly stated that you're not allowed to work, that with this kind of visa you're not allowed to take up any employment. But to my surprise, once this person that we had to apply got their visa, there was an extra page, you know, just an extra stamp on the visa saying that the person is allowed to take up employment up to 20 hours a week, but they are not allowed to do to be self-employed, like running your own business and all that. But taking up employment up to 20 hours a week, then it is allowed. And funny enough, even before, like within 1.5 weeks, the person had already gotten a job and also already started working, like let's say a part-time job or a mini job in the evening after school for a few hours a week, which is amazing. Again, yeah, this is as I said, one of the best ways to move to Germany, because if you're going to earn something at the end of the day, it can help you to sustain, pay your bills here and there, so that then you are not becoming such a burden. Even if somebody has invited you and they are paid for this document, then you're not totally dependent on them for everything. To an extent, you're able to sustain yourself. I mean, 20 hours a week, do your math. And even if you're doing like a mini job, then you can earn up to, you know, 12 euros per hour. So for 20 hours, if you're working the whole number of hours, then it's some good money to be able to sustain you. I can say that. And then the other thing that I saw, like people asking, do you need to show proof of language ability, like a certain proof of language proficiency? Do you already need to have a knowledge of German language to be able to apply for the visa? And from experience, for me, when I was applying for my language study visa, of course, I had already done A1 and also able to show proof of this certificate from Goethe Institute. But for this other person that we had to apply, 9. they did not have they had the bare minimal of literally maybe 5 words that they could say in German. But of course, you need to give a very concrete proof of, yeah. So basically they did not need to provide any proof of previous language studies, although yes, here of course on the requirements it is written that depending on the language of study you need to show proof of German language or English. But this was somebody who was actually coming to learn German, and if you are able to do A1 in Germany, it makes your case stronger. Then it already shows that like your interest and your let me say this, like your zeal to already like learn the language. But if you do not have any German language certificate or any German language knowledge, it's not a hindrance. At least from experience, it was not an issue. It was not even asked for during the interview. It was not asked for. You also need to have, of course, a CV, a curriculum vitae, and that CV can be in German or in English. But please, if you cannot speak German, please do not present a CV in German when you're asked for about anything that you have written in that CV you don't even understand. We were able to present a curriculum vitae in English, and it needs to be gapless, which means from the time that you finished your high school, there shouldn't be any month that you have not indicated what you are doing. Even if you are selling in your grandmother's shop, you need to indicate there from which duration to which duration. If you went to visit relatives or whatever you are doing, actually it's clearly written, curriculum vitae in German or English, and it should be gapless. So if you have any gaps in your CV, then you should know that that is a reason, grounds for you to be denied your visa. You did not follow the instructions. Simple as that. And we already talked about proof of incoming insurance. That is one of the things that you also need to have, and also the visa fees. And at the moment, at least if you're applying from the German embassy in Nairobi, Kenya, then the visa fee is 75 euros. Usually you do not pay in euros, you need to pay in Kenya shillings, and you cannot pay this amount via bank transfer or credit card or M-Pesa. You need to have this amount in cash. And from the last application, the amount that they asked for was 10,500. So if you're going for your interview, just have like 11,000, 12,000 in cash, in case of the difference in exchange rate. Sometimes the rates go high or the rates go low. You never know. But yeah, those are the requirements for this language study visa. And so after the application, usually they have indicated that the processing period or the processing duration, the processing time is 1 to 2 months. But for the person that we applied for, it took almost 3 months, actually 2.5 months. The interview was on the 26th of June. The visa was issued on the 6th of September. So the whole of July, nothing. The whole of August, nothing. And the course was actually supposed to start on the 1st of September, but even on the day that the course was supposed to start, the visa had not yet been issued, and it was issued 6 days after, which means this person had to join classes after the classes had already started, and it was quite a task to now start integrating or to catch up with the other students, which would now go to the advice that yes, even if you're going to start from A1, to start your classes from A1, please have previous knowledge of German, so that just you have a background already and catching up or knowing what is going on in class. Because as I said, this is an intensive language course. Within 1.5 months or maybe within 2 months, you've already finished one level. And you might even finish that one level without knowing what happened, without being able to even speak German, and asking yourself, okay, what hit me? So yeah, it is a good idea for you to actually take up classes in German, German classes in Kenya, whether you're going to do it online or whatever, before you apply for your course, just for your own good. But if you're not able to, still not a ground for you to be denied visa. But the other thing that I forgot to mention is that you need to have a motivation letter, a conclusive letter of motivation in German or English, written by yourself. and it should detail the reason for your chosen studies subject, and so you should detail why you chose to study German and why you chose to study in that particular school. And you don't forget to indicate what you're going to do with the language after you finish your maybe your B1 or B2, whatever level you indicated that you wanted to attain. Do not forget to give a very convincing reason why you're applying for that visa. How are the studies, the German language studies, going to benefit you? How are they going to shape your career? Is there any relation between the language and whatever you're doing as a career at the moment? But if it doesn't have any relation, it's not a big deal, but you just need to show how it's going to affect your future career. If you cannot prove that, then you're going to be denied. And of course, when you're applying for the visa, you need to convince, even on your motivation letter, because let me just say this: when this person went for the interview, they were basically literally asked no questions. It was just like, do you have this document? Give it to me. Do you have this document? According to the documents that I just stated, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? You do not have the chance to explain yourself. So, and remember, oh God, and I tortured this person. The way we were practicing and going through the possible visa interview questions almost every single day until the person lost a couple of pounds, and then going to the visa interview and I'm asking this person, were you asked this? Were you asked that? No, basically nothing. So the only way that you're going to be able to express yourself is on your letter of motivation. Write it and write it good. Write it convincingly. Even if you're going to get somebody else to write it for you, read through that letter, understand everything that has been written, do your research. There are a lot of motivation. Don't come for me. I'm too busy for life to write a motivation letter for anyone. Please just do your research online, look for samples. Don't do plagiarism. Don't copy paste somebody's letter. You will be discovered and that will be a very big deal. So just get inspiration. You can go to the internet, research sample motivation letters, get inspiration, write your own, as it says, written by yourself, so that when you're asked, in case you're asked any question about what your plans are and whatever, you know what you wrote from your heart and you're able to express yourself. So I wish you the best. If you're planning to apply for this visa, as I said, for me it's much easier, because when you're going to apply for like a regular visa for studies to the university, the questions, hey, well, you're going to be asked so many questions. You can look at those questions. They are going to be asked so many questions about what you know about the country, about the city, the wherever. But for the language study visa, they don't have time for that. They just need you to show that, okay, you want to study the language, you can finance your stay, and what you wanna do with the language once you're done with your studies. So if you have the capabilities, if you have the finances to prove, and yeah, totally go for it. One of the best ways, because do not go kujipeana. It doesn't work anymore. It used to work before, but not anymore. So now people need to find legitimate ways to come to Germany. And the next video I'm going to be talking about coming to Germany through the Chancenkarte or opportunity card. So do not forget to leave a like on this video, comment, share, subscribe. Love you guys, and I'll see you on another video. Bye.